What is up, you beautiful people? We are here today. We're going to talk about some Packers history, but before we get into that, big shout out to the sponsor, Quick Trip, sponsoring the show, and you know what I mean? Dude, they like bring food out to your car for you. I could never do that because like the curbside thing, like a restaurant is fine, but at a gas station, I feel like I'm just torturing those employees. But you can do that. Like, you know, you got a baby in the car, you don't want to take the baby out. Anyway, shout out to Quick Trip. And what is up? I'm here with my man, Mr. Daniel. I got to get the right overlay over here. What is up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Matt?
I am fantastic. I had a few beers, on a Tuesday. What is it, Tuesday, I think?
Trying to catch
you
up.
Know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're, having a good time. But I want to talk a little bit about Packers history, because, the Packers are now, we got some stuff like we'll get into. The most winningest team. Aaron Jones did his thing. We'll go through all that. So I was like, who else could I possibly talk to about this than you? So I had to get you on the thing, but so
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone, be sure to check out PackersHistory.com. What do you do over there at PackersHistory.com?
We just kind of take whatever's interesting to us, and then write just some very long form articles that are far too long for any human being to read. But you can skim them, you can jump around. But no, we do some fun stuff. And the thing we're probably most excited about that we put out recently is our Packers and Bears all-time like rivalry timeline. We've just kind of over the last few weeks kept adding to it. More research, more putting it in, and it's really coming together really cool. So yeah, if you head over to the site, it's the top story, and you can check it out.
Yeah, dude, I love the history. I love the rivalry, the Packer-Bear rivalry. Yeah, so head over to PackersHistory.com and find it all. So yeah, we're talking about this Packers-Bears rivalry. Let's dive right into this thing. Let's see if I can find the right overlay because I didn't put these in order. What's this one say? Oh, I got on the first shot, bro. I thought I was going to give the whole thing away. But Packers take the all-time win title from the Bears, and which is like crazy, like the odds of this happening. If they would have like put money on this when this thing first started, the first game, like I don't think they never could have predicted the Bears are going to hold it for this whole time, and the Packers are going to take it from them while playing the Bears.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
and the Packers had to have the season that they're having for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
it's so crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that one of the amazing things is that, like, so not only have they overtaken the total win title from the Bears, in 2017 they took over the all-time series lead too. So both of the things that the Bears had like all-time bragging rights on the Packers on, that was it, and they're both gone. It's just so beautiful. They got nothing now.
It is a beautiful thing, but I will give the Bears fans props because they really didn't talk about it a lot.
True.
They're not as loud about it as I'm going to be because I will talk about this. I mean, obviously, it could be taken away. Like it could be taken away. So if it is taken away, if the Bears somehow take the title back, win a couple games, and Packers don't or whatever, and then the Packers take it over again, I will celebrate even harder that time. Every time I will, but I don't think that that's gonna happen. I think the Bears are in a little situation over there, but I think the Packers are gonna go on a little bit of a run here. I don't know. We'll talk about that, but yeah. So you said that you have a whole thing written up on it. So like the Bears had a lead on the Packers. Like they got a jump start, right?
Oh yeah. So that they've owned that record since 1921. So that's like a I'll call it a 101-year-old record. I think someone said it was the longest held record in NFL history. I mean, it's how can you have something longer?
How can it be any longer?
1 year. So that's gone. But even if you go more recently, since like 92 when Favre took over, the Bears, and starting from that time, the Bears had an 85 win lead on the Packers. 85 wins, more than them all time. There was only 16 games in the season back then, 17 now. But they blew that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like worse. Like all those memes people talk about. Oh, that this team 28-3 lead, and I think it was Golden State, whatever in basketball. But like really, it should be the Bears. But that number is too high. I don't think people remember the exact number because I already
right.
forgot it.
If you go back to 92, you could add 2 wins to every Bears season since 92, and the Packers would still have won way more games than them over that 30-year span. Like,
Yeah, that was a rough time for the Bears, and it's not getting so much better yet. I
yeah,
know I've heard the Bears fans tell me next year they got cap room, they got this, they got that, they're gonna do some stuff, but as of now, but yeah, so like the '90s really obviously took that off because the '80s, obviously they climbed that lead up a little bit.
oh yeah,
'90s, and then it was all downhill. I do. I'll say this because I talk a lot of trash on the internet about the Vikings and the Bears, but like I respect the Bears. I respect how they helped us because I want to talk about that because I brought that up and someone didn't realize that. But yeah, the Bears helped the Packers. I'll let you talk about that for a second.
Well, it's gone both ways, and that's kind of one of the things that like a lot of people like to talk about. Oh, Hallis, rallied the Green Bay people. Famously took the train up to get the local people to support the building of what would become Lambeau Field, because without that, they were going to lose their franchise. But what they don't realize is that back in the 30s as well, the Bears they couldn't make payroll, and the Packers covered that. They wrote them an IOU check to keep them solvent as well. So I mean, it's the Bears have saved the Packers probably a couple times, but the Packers certainly saved the Bears as well. So it's a mutual thing, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that what it is, like when they helped us, like they saw that the Packers are important. Like they had that.
Right.
I'm assuming it was a little rivalry going on back then, and whatever, they had mutual respect, whether it was a franchise, the people running it or whatever it was, and. That's what because a lot of Bear fans will come at me with that, like as an insult. Oh, we saved you. I'm like, yeah, that makes the rivalry better, bro. Like
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's great.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, I know, right?
Team.
I'm not sure if they could go back if they would do it now.
Right.
I don't think the Bears would be like, no, we're gonna pass.
Yeah, we're gonna let you go away.
Yeah. No, it's like I love the rivalry. I love talking trash. I love people talking trash back to me. It's a beautiful thing. But like I respect Bears. I respect Bears fans. Vikings that's a little different situation for another day. But it's not the same. No. But it's a beautiful thing. Packers take the lead all time, most wins. And dude, that is like a big thing. And people act like it's not like, well, there was this many teams and that many teams. Like, no, I'm not saying like hang a banner and like have a parade about it, but it's a cool thing for a Packer fan to talk about. Like, yeah, we have more wins than any team in the NFL. Yeah, we're the oldest. You should have got here sooner, bro. That's what I keep seeing from people like the Viking fans. They're like, oh, that's only because you've been in the league so long. I'm like, you should have got here sooner. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you because you have an expansion team, bro? You locked onto an expansion team. Just because you live in Minnesota doesn't mean you have to be a Vikings fan. You chose that, or your parents chose that. You were taught that. I don't care. My team is not an expansion team. We're the Green Bay Packers, and we have more wins than anybody else. And especially in a season like we're having right now, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
most wins all time, most championships all time, most MVPs of all time. I mean, come on. Like,
yeah. It's the best franchise in the league. I don't care who agrees. I mean, not everyone's going to be right all the time. And apparently in this situation, I am. But... It's good stuff. All right, so we got some stuff. We got something else going on this year. Let's move along. We could trash and talk about that all day, but let's see what this next one is because they're all out of order, so I'm just gonna go with it. All right. All right, Aaron Rodgers. I'm keeping in with the Bears a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, his bad season, like people are saying he's having this year, still better than any Bears quarterback. And this isn't to dump on the Bears. This isn't a dump on the Bears episode. If it was, I would definitely go Vikings right now because they irritate me today. But look, just to compare, because the Bears have had a lot of quarterbacks. The Packers have had 2 in 30 years, basically. I mean, there were some guys that filled in when Rodgers got hurt. Yeah. But so like this was your idea. So like you tell me.
Well, I just find it fascinating that Bears fans they've been so eager to crap on the Packers season and on Rodgers and just kind of take solace in the fact that he's not having a good year. He's on pace for 29 touchdowns, 29 touchdown passes. That would tie him with the best season in Bears history. I mean, like this is an objectively bad year for him, and he still has a chance to put up 30 touchdowns. He has a chance to put up 4,000 yards. Two things that Bears quarterbacks have never done, ever, somehow. Just amazing.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Wow. No Bear quarterback did. Just the fact, because Aaron Rodgers' first year in the league, he threw for 4,000 yards. I don't remember his exact stats, but I remember him throwing for 4,000 yards, or whatever year it was. Like, he's thrown it, So he's never, I mean, I don't know what happened after. I'm not a statistician. The fact that his first year starting, he did it, and no Bear ever has done it is just crazy to me. Especially since they've been around for so long. Well, I mean, that doesn't really matter because back then they weren't throwing like that. But it's just wild that like somebody wouldn't have stumbled upon it at some point, like on accident. Because even like a lot of bad teams are slinging that thing. You know what I mean? So you think at some point Jay Cutler, because Jay Cutler could sling it. Like, Jay Cutler was no punk. I mean, he threw a lot of interceptions. I made a lot of fun of Jay Cutler back in the day. And I still will. But like he could sling it. I was actually worried when Jay Cutler went to the Bears from Denver. I was like, I was not happy. I was like, because he was good. I think he was like an MVP candidate or just outside of it. I think he was somewhere up there. People talked about when he was with Denver. But when you go to Chicago, bro, that's where quarterbacks go to die. They just not gonna. That's why Justin Fields. I don't even hate Justin Fields. But he plays for the Bears. It's not. That's rough for you, bro.
It's
I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah. So yeah. So there's that. I mean, the Bears. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, did you hear that?
I didn't.
Oh, okay, just on my headphones. I think there's like some notification. I got like an anti-virus protection has expired, so I think that like went through my headphones, like the alert. It sounded like really weird. Anyways, big shout to everyone who's in the live chat though.
But seriously, like, and it's not just that Rodgers is having a bad year for him. He's got a broken thumb and a rib injury too. It's like, you got to understand the man's still very good at playing quarterback. I mean, come on.
And he said today that he's he's feeling better. The thumb, the ribs, the whole thing on Pat McAfee. I didn't watch it, but I saw the clips on Twitter or whatever. But if he is like good to go and like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs comes back, I think this team can do some stuff. Like, I'm not going to go out here and like, yell to the mountaintops that they're going to win out or whatever. I think they have the opportunity. If they play how they can play, how they should play, like they can. And then they obviously need help to get some situations going. But you got Aaron Rodgers at your quarterback, dude. You're never out until the mathematics says so. Yeah. All right, so let's move along. Keep her moving around over here. All right. How does Christian Watson rookie year, like so far, like we can predict what he's going to do, but like just so far, let's keep it like Packers or whatever, or we can do both. But like, how does Christian Watson look like as a rookie? Because a lot of the rookies, like the great wide receivers people remember with Aaron Rodgers, even with Favre, they weren't they ball in the rookie year. So where does he stack up like that?
Yeah, so in terms of Packers history, as far as receiving touchdowns as a rookie, he's got what, 7 now, right? 7 receiving, 9 total touchdowns. The only guys that have ever caught more than him for receiving touchdowns is Max McGee, caught 9, which is hilarious. I think I'd have to look that up, but I think that's his career high in touchdown catches as well. And then
really?
And then Billy Houghton, 1952. I mean, that's it. Those 2 guys, both of those guys, in the 50s is when they accomplished that. And then Christian Watson.
It's wild because if Christian Watson had a bunch of receptions and a couple yards, like he would be like, oh my goodness, he'd be Randy Moss. But he didn't start off great. He had some injury situations, whatever happened. But yeah, dude, Christian Watson, I think is going to be an absolute star. Like he's I mean, I know like I'm like the most, I get excited quick. I remember I was at the Titans game
Mm-hmm.
and someone told me, what is that? Rudy Ford got an interception that game. Someone told me I screamed out, Rudy Ford's a Hall of Famer. So like I get that I get excited and I just say like this guy's gonna be this or that or whatever. But I think Christian Watson has it. I think certain wide receivers have it. Like some wide receivers are good, some are pretty good, some are really good, but like some have it. Like I'm not gonna like compare him to like other guys like right now because he's a rookie or whatever. He's just getting started, but I think he has potential to be one of those top guys.
Yeah. Yeah, his size and speed combination is just incredibly rare. That's where like the Randy Moss, things get said, and that's a bit much. But if you think about in like Packers history, the most like similar guy would be James Lofton, right? Hall of Famer. And it's just you think about the ways that he's running the ball too. Like Lofton,
yeah, he's doing
Lofton ran the ball. I think he had like 30 some, I think 34 rushes in his career, right? And long legs, incredible speed. Watson's faster for one, which
I was gonna say like no, I'll let you finish and I'll ask you that.
I was just saying, like, I think Watson, it's incredible how fast he is. And Lofton had one rushing touchdown his entire career, and which for a wide receiver, sure, that's great, whatever. Watson already has 2 on 5 carries. 40% of the time when he touches the ball on a run, he scores. It's like, that's not normal.
No, it's not normal. It's not at all. So like Watson's really fast, like you said. And then like watching those touchdowns, like that run, it looked like he was like, I wouldn't say like jogging, but like just kind of like striding, like almost like practice. And the other guy's legs seemed like they're moving a lot faster.
Yeah.
But they weren't moving as quick. So like, where does he rank like speed wise? Like, who can you think of? Like, obviously you don't have that prepared, so you don't know. Is there anyone faster than him? Or like, I wonder what that rank would be, like the fastest guys in Packer history.
Yeah, I mean, James Lofton's where I would go. Like, if you would have asked me that question 2 days ago, like in the context of the era that they played, who's the fastest wide receiver? Like, I shouldn't say fastest wide receiver, but like fastest, like productive wide receiver. I would have said Lofton. And then you probably have to go back to Don Hudson for his speed for his era. That's like how unique this is. I can't think of another guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like, I'm sure that there was some. I'm sure that there was some fast guys like wide receivers that never, but like even like guys who like you never heard of because they never really got in because they were fast, but like they had hands like birdhouses. So, but yeah, I don't remember because I don't. The Packers wide receivers have never been known for speed. I mean, MVS, he had wheels.
He's the closest thing there's been in a long time to like an elite speedster on the team. But
I think it's important for like this offense. I think it's important for any offense, really. But like if you have a guy that can just take the top off, as they say, as the smart folks say over there, like they have to respect it, or they're going to get burned for a touchdown. It changes their defense, like how they can play stuff. And dude, like, that sounded so smart to me. I'm going to clip that. I don't usually sound that smart, you know what I mean? Every now and again, I get one in there. But let's keep her moving here. All right, Aaron Jones. Oh no, hang on, that's the wrong one. I got a better one, bro.
Ooh,
look at that's graphic, bro. I put work into these graphics. All right, we got Aaron Jones. He hit 5,000 yards rushing, which is not a lot of guys have done, which is surprising to me. So I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, 4th guy to ever do it for the Packers. Amon Green, all-time leading rusher. Jim Taylor, the longtime all-time leading rusher, and then John Brockington, who's like one of the most fun, before our time, but one of the most fun running backs to ever play for this team. Only those 4 guys. 4. Like when you start to think about the history of the Packers at the running back position, a lot of guys come to mind. Guys that didn't hit that. Clark Hinkle, Tony Canadeo, Paul Hornung. I mean, there's a whole list of guys, and Jones is above. And different era, of course, but it's incredible. I mean, Jones has, of those 4 guys, he has the highest yards per attempt by a mile, by a half yard, honestly. He has the least fumbles He has half as many fumbles as the next guy, and he's about to pass John Brockington probably on Monday Night Football. I don't want to jinx it, but he's likely going to pass Brockington on Monday night to take over third place in franchise history in rushing yards, and he'll do it in 300 fewer carries than Brockington. 300.
This is absolutely insane, like how good Aaron Jones is, and I think he's underused, and not just now because I'm not trying to dig on like LaFleur or whatever, like play calling, but like even like McCarthy, like if he was used as much as he could have been used, like his whole time, he's just a freak athlete, you know what I mean? And to be in like that small a company. And like there's a lot of good wide receiver or a lot of good running backs for the Packers. I mean, it's not like, I mean, they're not known for running the ball like throughout history or whatever, but they've had some really good running backs, and it's crazy that because it seems very, very early on. It seems like he hasn't been doing it all that long, and to get 5,000 yards already, being that little, like I say, small group of people that have done it, that's awesome.
Yeah. And you got guys like, Amon Green had a lot more catches and was probably a bigger part of the passing game than Aaron Jones. But Aaron Jones is the best receiver of the bunch. I mean, it's not even close. Like, he could play slot receiver in this.
Yeah, for sure. I've always said that. Dude, like, people talking about wide receiver, this or that, and then in the offseason or whatever. And I was like, dude, if they wanted to, they could put Aaron Jones at wide receiver. I mean, they could. He could do that Debo thing that they got going on over there by the Niners. They could like do anything with Aaron Jones. Like, Aaron Jones is by far the most skilled player on the offense. We're gonna see what Christian Watson has a little competition for him next league, a little bit of time. But Aaron Jones is an absolute freak, and he's like the best person ever.
Oh yeah,
he's just like I think that if you were gonna clone someone and be like, we want a really good person all around and a freak athlete, you just grab Aaron Jones, be like, you're good to go.
Talented, obscenely talented, hardworking, humble. He's the nicest. He's got it all.
Yeah, he's just ridiculously nice. He makes makes you feel bad about yourself. How nice he is. All right. He's a nice fella. And now let's keep her moving over here. Oh no. See, look, I forgot to use that graphic, but I made the graphic and now you guys can see that graphic. I didn't use them. I forgot to delete. Oh, look, even that one I forgot. See, I made all these graphics. What's this one say? Oh yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done with the graphics. But yeah, so let's talk while we tail off here a little bit. Let's talk about the Vikings a little bit because, dude, first of all, I troll the Vikings pretty hard, pretty heavy, because they respond, and it's just funny to me. They retweet me. They'll like keep her going. It's fun. They go back and forth. Some of them are just morons. I mean, like the Bear fans, like I respect a Bear fan because like we go back and forth. Everyone knows it's just jokes. And a lot of Viking fans are the same way. Like there's certain guys that troll me on Facebook who are like, I message, be like, yeah, we're good. Just to make sure, like, because it's not personal attacks. It's you're talking about your team. And but some of them, it's a freaking game. And but some of them are just so moronic. But I just love talking trash. First of all, like they get all excited because they're having this year. Like they do this, like I don't have the numbers, but it's like every 7 to 10 years, the Vikings have a little bit of a year. Everyone gets excited. They get all, yay, we're gonna win a Super Bowl. Then they lose in the playoffs, and then it's back to normal. Packers go ahead and do their thing. And dude, I don't know. I just hate the Vikings so much. I hate everything about them. I hate their color. I don't like purple that much. We got purple rain. That's like the only thing that's ever been good. They're like their skull chant isn't even real. They're like it's like a soccer team thing, and they buy. And I had a Viking fan say, "We didn't steal it. We asked permission." Like that's kind of the point. You expansion team. They got to go. You have no history. That's what I noticed. Fans who don't want to talk about history are fans of a team with no history.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. Anyways.
Yeah, to me, they're a corporate franchise to me. Like they're the opposite of the Packers in every way imaginable. But everything about them is just like corporate. Like they have their freaking dome with the ambiance of a mall. They play in. They have their chant that they didn't even invent. Everything about them is just
trash.
It's
just boring, fake. It's like if there was going to be a reality TV show, for an NFL team, they would pick the Vikings. Probably not. They'd probably pick the Cowboys because Jerry Jones would pay everyone off. But if he wasn't a thing, they would pick the Vikings because they're like, this is like it's like if you're gonna have a TV show, like you ever watch. I used to watch this one TV show. It was about an NFL team. They didn't have any logos or names or whatever, but like was the Vikings. It just
exactly.
I hate that.
Love boat.
I absolutely hate the Vikings, but I see some comments here like hitting up like we're talking about that running back situation, dude. Edgar Bennett,
nice.
Like when I was a kid, I seen that comment somewhere, but yeah, Edgar Bennett, Mr. 34. Who's your favorite running back of all time for the Packers?
For me?
Yeah. Oh, tough one.
Man, I love Dorsey Levens so much. Man, Aaron Jones is up there for me.
Yeah.
But if we're taking current guys out of it, in my lifetime, I don't know. It feels bad not saying Amon Green because of how good he was. But I'll probably go with Levens just for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Paul Hornung was like my absolute favorite player. Yeah. This is actually, I got his autograph right over here. I didn't get it. Tom Grassi sent me that. But,
that's awesome.
But yeah, but like if we're talking current, I would probably have to say Amon Green, and then Aaron Jones is right there too, obviously. And Aaron Jones might be ahead because he seen me one time and he came up to me, like he recognized me from Instagram. So I was like, holy crap. Yeah. Because I seen him and I was like, oh, that's Aaron Jones right there. Because I was at the practice, like inside the fence, Preston Smith. I was a guest of his, but I didn't want to run up on players act like I act like all cool, like I've been there before, like this ain't no thing. So, but I saw Aaron Jones like, wow, and he's got his uniform still on because it was after practice. A lot of players took it off, but he was just walking around taking pictures with people. I'm assuming his family, his friends, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he saw me. He's like, "Yo, Matt, I love your Instagram." I was like, "What?" So like Aaron Jones, is also one reason why I think he's just like the greatest dude. Like he acted like he was happy to see me. You know what I mean? It was so awesome. But Amon Green, back in the day, he used to come into the car wash I worked at, and he was really cool too. Because he had a really cool car. He had like a Suburban type thing. It was really like it was souped up. It had color changing paint. You couldn't. So like everyone had to be careful with it because like to paint it again, it would cost like more than everyone who works there's like yearly salary probably. I don't know how much it would cost, but he was always really cool too. And that's kind of like how I like. If you're my favorite player, it's because I think you're a cool person. Like I can't have my favorite player. Like I'm like that guy's kind of a dick. You know, I don't care how good you are. If I don't think I could like hang out with you, drink beer at you. I mean, I'll still like you, but like I'll still root for you, you know. But you're not going to be on my list, you know. And I'm sure that matters a lot to all of them. All right, so everyone, be sure to hit up PackersHistory.com to get all of your Packers history needs. You guys write articles all the time, and you like do different stuff. And there's a lot of stuff back there. If you never checked it out. A lot of cool stories, you know. I'll have you on again. I've had you on before. I think it's cool getting like a smart person to talk about Packers because I like Packers history, but my memory don't work like that. I drank too much, you know. So like I'll forget all this by tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I'll send you the notes.
Yeah. I'll rewatch it after work tomorrow. Yeah. That's the thing. I got my alarm goes off at 2:30 in the a.m. Anyways. Big shout out to Mr. Daniel Zillmer. Am I saying that right?
There you are. Nice.
I'm gonna call you Danny Boy.
I like it.
Oh, there we go. PackersHistory.com. Thank y'all for tuning in, and everyone in the live chat. I'm sorry I didn't get to the chat much today, but I wanted to hear about this Packers history. But I appreciate you tuning in live. And if you missed it, just tune in. You can listen to it on the podcast tomorrow. And if you're on the podcast, go subscribe on YouTube. It's a little circular world, people. Help me out. Go Pack Go, and this Thursday, Corey Benke will be live, I think about 6:30, maybe 7. I didn't figure out the time yet. But Corey Benke, Cheesehead TV, Thursday night. Oh, that's going to be a fun one, bro. Go Pack.